Dear students, today's topic of my lecture, Alternating Current, Chapter 7, Part 6. So, what you have to learn in this chapter of Part 6, that is here, transformer, then its principle, construction and working of transformer. After that, energy losses in transformer, and at last, we have to take one numerical in which you apply the concept, what you learn, and then solve that numerical, so that you can assess yourself that how much you learn from this part 6. So first of all, you understand what is transformer. Transformer is a basically a electrical device which convert lower alternating voltage at high current into higher alternating voltage at lower current. So we can say that transformer is an electrical device which can step up or step down the voltages in terms of if the voltage is lower, that is step down, then at that time the current is high, and when we take step up, that is the voltage is step up, then at that time the current is lower. So that's why we say that transformer is an electrical device which convert lower alternating voltage at high current into higher alternating voltage at lower current. Now you can see the diagram of transformer. So in it, this is the primary coil and this one is secondary coil, and they are bound over to a iron core onto the separate limbs in this diagram. So basically transformer consists of the two coils. One is called primary coil, another one is secondary coil. Generally, the input is connected to the primary coil and output we take across to the secondary coil. That's why here a load resistance is connected. Now you see the principle on which the transformer works. So the working of the transformer basically based on the principle of mutual induction. That is, whenever the current or the magnetic flux in primary coil changes, then the change in magnetic flux linked with the secondary coil, and hence an EMF is induced in the secondary coil. So that is the principle of mutual induction, and the working of the transformer is based on the principle of mutual induction. Now the construction of transformer. A transformer consists two sets of the coil insulated from each other, which you can see here in the diagram. The one is primary coil, another one is secondary coil, and they are bound on the soft iron core. This is the soft iron core, either one on the top of other, as you can see in figure 1. So here primary and secondary coils, they are bound on the top of one another, on the other, one on the top of other, on the same iron core, or we can say that they bound on separate limbs of the iron core, which you can see here. These are the two separate limbs of iron core, and this is the primary coil which is wound over to here, and secondary coil is wound here. So generally we say that primary coil is the input coil and the secondary coil is the output coil of the transformer. and the number of turns in the primary they are represented by NP, and the number of turns in the secondary they are represented by NS. So this is the construction of transformer. Now working of transformer. You can see here the diagram of the transformer. As I already explained you, there is a one primary coil, and across to the primary coil the input is connected, and another coil is the secondary coil. Across to this a load resistance is connected, and these two coils they are bound onto the separate limbs of the iron core of transformer. Now what happens when we applied alternating voltage to the primary coil? Then the current that passes through the primary coil that produces alternating magnetic flux, which links the secondary coil and induces an EMF in it. The value of this EMF that depends on to the number of turns in the secondary. Now here we consider an ideal transformer in which primary has negligible resistance and all the flux in the iron core links both primary and secondary windings or coils. If we say that let phi be the magnetic flux in each turn of the iron core at time t due to the current in the primary coil when a voltage EP is applied to it, then what you will get, induced EMF in primary coil EP equal to minus NP d phi upon dt. That you already learned in Faraday's law. Similarly, due to the induction, EMF is induced in the secondary coil, and that induced EMF in secondary coil is ES equal to minus NS d phi upon dt. Mark this equation number 2. Now divide the equation 2 by equation 1. Then what you will get, d phi upon dt get cancelled, and you will get ES upon EP equal to NS upon NP. Mark this equation number 3. Since we are saying that transformer which we consider, it is an ideal transformer, that is though there is no energy loss, so it means output power must be equal to the input power, and output power product of output voltage and output current, that is ES IS, and input power product of input voltage and input current, that is EP IP. So therefore ES IS equal to EP IP. Rearrange it, then we get ES upon EP equal to IP upon IS. Mark this equation number 3. Now from equation 3 and 4 we get ES upon EP equal to NS upon NP equal to IP upon IS, and this ratio is known as transformation ratio, which is represented by capital K. Mark this equation number 5. And now from these equations we can write equation for output voltage and output current, that is ES equal to NS upon NP EP and IS equal to NP upon NS IP. So these are the expressions for the output voltage and output current. Now we apply here the condition for step up transformer and step down transformer. For step up transformer, number of turns in the secondary coil must be greater than number of turns in primary coil, that is NS must be greater than NP. So from here, by this equation, or by this equation you can also apply you will find out that ES greater than EP means the voltage gets stepped up. Output voltage is more, that is higher than the input voltage, but output current is less than input current, that is IS less than IP. So this is the condition for the step up transformer. Now for step down transformer, NS less than NP means number of turns in the secondary must be less than the number of turns in primary coil. So in that condition, ES less than EP means the voltage gets stepped down. In that condition, the output current is stepped up, that is IS greater than IP. Now we can find out the efficiency of transformer. So efficiency is the ratio of output power to the input power, and when we calculate in terms of the percentage of the efficiency and multiplied by 100, it is represented by eta. So eta equal to output power upon input power multiplied by 100, and output power is ESIS, input power is EPIP. So the formula that becomes eta equal to ESIS upon EPIP into 100. So this is about efficiency of transformer. Now how you can represent step up transformer means how you can draw the diagram, what are their conditions, that already we discussed. And again you can see that for step up transformer, the number of turns in the secondary coil must be greater than number of turns in the primary coil. So you can see in the diagram the number of turns in the secondary coil are more than number of turns in the primary coil. So NS greater than NP, that is the transformation ratio is greater than 1, and ES greater than EP, that is the voltage get step up, and IS less than IP, output current less than input current. So this is the condition for step up transformer and its diagram. Similarly for step down transformer, the number of turns in the secondary coil must be less than the number of turns in primary coil. So that you can see here in the diagram, number of turns in the secondary coil less than the number of turns in the primary coil, and condition is here NS less than NP, then transformation ratio K is less than 1, and ES less than EP, the input voltage step down, that is you are getting in the output step down voltage, and IS greater than IP, output current is greater than input current. But in actual practice there are some energy losses that takes place, and these energy losses of transformer are here. The first one is copper loss. When the alternating current that passes through the primary and secondary coils, which are made of the copper, then heat is produced, and that heat is H equal to I square RT. So electrical energy is dissipated in the form of the heat, and that can be minimized by taking the thick wires of copper windings. Second one is magnetic flux losses or magnetic flux leakage. So in actual transformer coupling between the primary and secondary coils, which is not perfect, so a certain amount of the magnetic flux is wasted. So that's why this loss can be minimized by winding the coils one on the top of other. Third one is iron losses, which is further classified into eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. So first one is eddy current losses. Eddy current is basically an induced current. So when a changing magnetic flux is linked with the iron core, then eddy currents are set up, which in turn produce heat and energy is wasted. and the eddy currents are reduced by using the laminated iron core instead of a solid iron block, because in laminated core the eddy currents are confined within the lamination and they do not get added up to produce large amount of current. In other words, their paths are broken instead of continuous ones, as we can see in the solid iron core. So here the diagram is given. You can see here, this is solid iron core and this one is laminated iron core. Here you can see that the path is broken. So by doing lamination onto the iron core, the eddy current losses can be reduced. Now the hysteresis losses, when the alternating current that passed to the iron core, then it magnetized and demagnetized repeatedly over the cycles, and some of the energy is lost in this process, and that energy loss is called hysteresis loss, and that can be minimized by taking a suitable material with low hysteresis loss, that is, whose hysteresis loop should be thin. Another one is losses due to the vibration of iron core. So when the current that passes through the iron core, then it starts vibrating. Then some of the electrical energy is lost in the form of the mechanical energy due to the vibration of iron core, and a humming noise due to the magnetostriction effect takes place. So that electrical energy get lost in terms of the mechanical energy due to the vibration of iron core, and in terms of the sound energy because of the humming noise. Now we take one numerical. So whatever the concept you learn, that you apply here, all the concepts that will apply in this numerical. So the numerical is here. The primary coil of an ideal step up transformer has 100 turns and transformation ratio is also 100. The input voltage and power are 220 volt and 1100 watt respectively. Calculate. First part, number of turns in the secondary coil. Second part, current in the primary coil. Third part, voltage across the secondary coil. Fourth part, current in the secondary coil. Fifth part, power in the secondary coil. So first you understand the question carefully and understand the language. Here it is an ideal step up transformer. So ideal transformer means output power must be equal to the input power, means there is no losses of the energy, and the number of turns in the primary is given, NP is given, transformation ratio of 100, that is K is given, input voltage EP is given 220 volt, input power is also given. So the fifth part answer is directly you can write from the question itself, the answer is given. Because it is an ideal transformer, so input power must be equal to the output power. So the power across to the secondary coil is output power. So one by one we solve the factors, you know. So for ideal transformer you have the formula ES upon EP equal to IP upon IS equal to NS upon NP equal to K. So in the first case, the number of turns in the secondary coil. So we have to apply this formula because NP is given, K is given, only NS you have to find out. So K equal to 100, NP equal to 100, so NS is equal to 10 raised power 4. Similarly, the current in the primary coil. Input power is given, input voltage is given, then P input equal to EP IP, and IP equal to P input upon EP. So you apply this formula, substitute the values, solve it, you will get 5 ampere. Now the third part is voltage across the secondary. So voltage across the secondary, from here ES upon EP equal to K, then ES equal to K EP. The value of K is given, value of EP is given, substitute the values, solve it, you will get 22 into 10 is power 3 volt. Fourth part, current in the secondary coil. As you know that output power equal to ES IS, then IS equal to output power upon ES, but it is an ideal transformer, so output power must be equal to the input power. Then the equation becomes IS equal to input power upon ES. Substitute the values, you will get 0.05 ampere. Now the fifth part says the transformer is the ideal, therefore output power must be equal to the input power, so you will get 1100 watt. So this is about one numerical of a transformer in which all concept which you have learned that we applied. If you like my video, then like it, subscribe it, press the bell icon, stay safe, stay healthy, learn physics with my YouTube channel by staying at home. Thank you and have a nice day.